Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your pal Cookie McGee. I'm back with another video once again, and it's time for another vlog video. And as you can tell, I got some Fortnite gameplay for this vlog video, playing some OG Fortnite Zero build, because to be honest, I've never really been a fan of a build in Fortnite, especially during the early years of Fortnite. But yeah, so that's going to be the gameplay footage for this video. Just me kicking ass and me getting my ass kicked. You know how it is. Anyways, on to the video. So today we're going to be talking about my favorite video game consoles, including both console and handhelds. Now, this isn't in any particular order. I'm just going to ramble on what are my favorite video game consoles, including handhelds in this video. This idea for this video just randomly came up in my head, and I figured, that would be a good idea for the video. But again, this is not in any particular order. This isn't like a countdown or anything. We're just going to be discussing what my favorite video game consoles are and handhelds, like I said for the third time already. But yeah, so let's get started. So one of the first consoles that comes to mind when it comes to one of my favorite video game consoles would have to be none other than the Nintendo Wii. Yep, you can't go wrong with the Nintendo Wii. It was quite an ambitious video game console for Nintendo upon its release back in 06, which I just realized now this year it'll be the 20-year anniversary of when the Nintendo Wii was released. God damn. I didn't get my Wii until the following year when I got it for Christmas back in 07 when I was like 6 years old. And I have a lot of memories playing the Wii. And I still own the Wii, my same Wii that I have since 07 to this day. And it was quite the system and quite a big deal upon its release. It was like the first major console to have motion controls with like the Wii remote, the nunchuck, and all that stuff. And yeah, it was quite an amazing system. There were a lot of great games there, like Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Trying to think what else. Super Smash Brothers Brawl, Wii Sports, which every Wii, if you bought a Wii back in the day, it would be included with Wii Sports, or in later consoles it would come with both Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. And there were also some crappy games released for the Wii, like Ninja Breadman and a couple of other crappy games that I can't really think of at the moment. But my favorite game on the Wii would have to be Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I have so many fond memories of playing that game when I was a kid. And I remember the first time I played it at my friend's house. It was like sometime not long after it came out, I think. I think my friend got it soon after it came out. But then one day when I played it at his house, I fell in love with it. And I went on to go get my own copy of the game. And I kid you not, when I got home from Walmart, I think it was Walmart when I got it. I can't remember if it was Walmart or EB Games. No. Actually, it was Walmart. Yeah, I remember I got it from Walmart. My grandparents got it. And when we got home, I played the game all afternoon, well into the night. Like, I played it nonstop for hours. I was having so much fun with it. Like, I just have so many fond memories of a Super Smash Brothers Brawl. It's just an amazing game, and yeah. And if I hadn't said this already, the Wii was actually the first major home video game console I ever owned. I know I've said this in the past, but I forgot to say that in this video. But yeah, the Wii was the first major home video game console I ever owned, and it's one of my favorite video game consoles for a reason. It was just a really, really great system. And for a long time, it was Nintendo's top selling video game console before the Switch took that title. But all in all, the Wii was a damn good system. I guess now that we've talked about one home console, I guess I'll talk about a handheld console that I really love. I guess I'll make this one a tie. It would have to be between the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo 3DS. I did have a white Nintendo DS Lite. It was one of the first video game systems I ever owned. Which actually, the first video game system I ever owned was the Game Boy Advance, which I got back in, I believe it was 2005 or 2006. I can't remember, but that was the first video game related thing that I ever owned. I didn't have very much games for it, but it was a good system. I'm actually thinking about getting another Game Boy Advance one day. Anyways, I know I've gone off topic, but anyways, I remember getting my DS Lite back in, I believe it was 2006, 2007 maybe. I think it might have been 2007 actually, because one of the first games I got for it was TMNT, which was obviously a tie-in to the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 2007. And I think that was the first game I ever got with it. It was either that or New Super Mario Brothers. I can't remember. It was one of those two games for sure. But the DS was a great system. It was definitely, I think it was Nintendo's best-selling handheld system, or maybe that was the 3DS. I can't remember. It was one of those two. But there were a lot of great games on the Nintendo DS that I really liked, like New Super Mario Brothers, Mario Kart DS, Animal Crossing Wild World, which was the game that got me into Animal Crossing, one of my favorite gaming franchises ever. And yeah, there were a lot of great games. Well, with the amount of great games that were released for the DS, there were some terrible games that were released for the DS. Mostly crappy shovelware games and some tie-in games that were just terrible. Can't really think of any at the moment, but other than that, the DS was a great system. I also really loved the Nintendo 3DS, which was really good. Oh, before I actually talk about the 3DS, I forgot to say I also have the DSi, which I remember getting on my birthday back in 2009, which would have been my 8th birthday. And I really liked that one. You could record your voice and stuff. You could take pictures. It was really really neat. The 3DS brought some of those features back, but there were a couple of other things. You could play games in 3D and stuff, and it was just a really, really good handheld. I remember getting mine for Easter back in 2011, so I've had it for 15 years at this point. And I remember the first game I got with my 3DS, which was Super Street Fighter 4. I'm not big into I'm not really a big fan of Street Fighter. It's fun though, but yeah. It was just a really, really good handheld with some great games. Like there was like Super Mario 3D World and many other games. It was a really, really good system. The next console that comes to mind when it comes to naming my favorite video game system, it would have to be none other than the Xbox 360. Yep, you can't go wrong with the Xbox 360. In my opinion, I think the Xbox 360 was the best console that Microsoft ever made, and I personally think it was even better than the Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox One was still good, but I don't know. There were things about the Xbox 360 for me personally that did a lot better than the Xbox One. And I think the PS4 was the better system of that console generation. Well, that's a story for another day. But anyways, I do have a lot of fond memories of the Xbox 360. I remember the day I got it. It was just before the 5th grade started. And this was back in like 2011 when I got it. My dad took me to EB Games one day, and we bought me an Xbox 360. It was the Slim with the Kinect, not the original that would get the red ring of death, but the Slim. And I actually do remember the games I got with it. Those games were, well, considering my Xbox 360 came with the Kinect, it came with Kinect Adventures. But the other games I got with it were Legends of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole, which was based on the movie. Fable 3 and Portal 2, which that game is amazing, although I never beat it for some reason. But another thing about the Xbox 360 is that it was the first thing that really got me into playing online games. I mean, before that, I would play games like Club Penguin and Roblox before it became as popular as it is today and all the controversy surrounding it. Not going to get into that in this video. But when I signed up for Xbox Live, I have a lot of memories playing it back then, especially on the Xbox 360. I remember the first game I played online with my Xbox Live account would be Modern Warfare 3. And then I remember during the Black Ops 2 days, I would come home from school and play Black Ops 2 with my friends. And yeah, it was all good. All good. So many good times playing on the Xbox 360. But yeah, there's no denying the Xbox 360 was a damn good console. And it's one of my favorite video game consoles, period. Just a damn good system. And to this day, it is Microsoft's best console, in my opinion. And like I said, it's better than the Xbox One. But hey, that's like my opinion, man. The next three video game consoles of ones that I love were the ones from the 6th generation. This includes the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and original Xbox. Although I have not played the Dreamcast, I do want to try playing the Dreamcast one day. But yeah, I love the PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox. Well, in general, that console generation was great. There were many great games from that generation, but the Xbox introduced Xbox Live and introduced a whole new way of playing games online in that generation, which was pretty cool, and all the other stuff. But I guess we'll start talking about that generation with the GameCube first. Now, obviously, the GameCube didn't sell nearly as well as the Xbox or the PlayStation 2, which, of course, the PS2 was the best-selling console from that generation. But there were a lot of great games on the GameCube, even if it wasn't nearly as successful as its competitors that generation. But there were a lot of great games on the GameCube that I really loved, like Super Mario Sunshine, which is probably my favorite game that I've played on the GameCube. Well, probably the one I remember playing the most as a kid. While I didn't own a GameCube when I was a kid, I would remember playing the GameCube at either my friend's house or at my cousin's place. But anyways, some of the games on the GameCube that I really love are Super Mario Sunshine, Pikmin 1 and 2, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Power Tennis, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. A lot of Mario games, I know, but there were a lot of great games from that one. But aside from those, there was also Star Fox Adventures, Killer 7, Eternal Darkness, and so on. But yeah, it was it's definitely one of Nintendo's best consoles in my opinion. Just a really, really great system. For the original Xbox, I didn't really play that one much when I was a kid, as I didn't own one when I was younger. But one of my aunts and uncles had an Xbox. I remember me and my brother would go over and we would play Midnight Club 3 on the Xbox. We would just drive around on a split screen because there was a free roam mode on split screen, which was really cool. But the Xbox was a great system too. It was definitely a great first console for Microsoft, and then they would have the Xbox 360, which would be, in my opinion, their last great system. I mean, the Xbox One was fine, but obviously the PS4 was the better system from that generation. But again, that's a story for another day. But yeah, it was just a really, really great system. They had some great games on there like Halo, Fusion Frenzy, Forza, and many other games. Oh, and Project Gotham Racing was another good one that they had on the Xbox. And yeah, it was a pretty solid system, but we all know what the best console from that generation is, and that was the PlayStation 2. And it is still currently the best-selling video game console of all time, at least from my knowledge. And it was like the first video game console to have a DVD player with it, so you can watch movies and stuff on it, which that thing was, it was really popular back then because a regular DVD player back in the early 2000s was really, really expensive, so the PS2 was a slightly cheaper option, at least from what I know. But aside from that, the game had, I mean, the PS2 has so many great games, like so many titles and so many different games of different genres. There's like something for everybody on the PlayStation 2. There was like, if you want racing, you got Gran Turismo, ATV for Fury. If you want shooter games, you got Black, you got SOCOM, and if you want like platform games, they got Sly Cooper, they had Jack and Daxter, and yeah, there were just so many damn good games on the PlayStation 2. I didn't own one growing up, but I didn't officially own a PlayStation 2 until like sometime in 2020 when I bought it one used from Game City, and I've had a PS2 for like 6 years. But yeah, I'm glad I own a PS2. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with the PS2. It's definitely one of the finest video game consoles ever made. But in general, the sixth generation of gaming was really, really good. It was just a really great generation for gaming. And I don't know, I just love the Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2. They were just three fucking amazing game consoles. No doubt about it. Other handheld system that I really enjoyed, this is the third handheld that I'm talking about in this video, and that would have to be the PSP. Not much to say about it, but it was definitely ahead of its time, as you don't only just play games on it, you could watch movies on it, you can listen to music, and they had all their stuff on UMD discs, and there were just some good games on there, like Patapon, Loco Roco. I'm trying to remember what else. I don't know, there were a lot of good games on the PSP too, and there are some good movies on the PSP that you could watch, like Donnie Darko, Snatch, and many others. But not much to say about it. It was a great handheld system. And the last video game console that I can think of that's one of my all-time favorites is the Nintendo 64. Better known as the last home console from Nintendo to use cartridges, not counting the Switch, because those are just cards, not cartridges. But the Nintendo 64, despite its weird-looking controller, had some amazing games that I really loved on the system. These games include Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong Racing, GoldenEye. I'm trying to think of what else. I also loved Jet Force Gemini, Perfect Dark. And yeah, there were a lot of great games on the Nintendo 64. Although in that generation, I think it was the PS1 that sold more than the Nintendo 64. But both the PS1 and Nintendo 64 were both great consoles. Although to be honest, I haven't played too many PS1 games, so I can't really say too much. But I've played a few PS1 games, but yeah, I just really like the Nintendo 64. It's an amazing system, and sure, all the games look like polygons, but for the first 3D console from Nintendo, not counting the Virtual Boy, it was a really, really great console, and a lot of those old games, some of them might be dated, but a lot of the great games released there are still released on the Nintendo 64, are still fun to play all these years later, and all in all, it was just a really, really great game console. And those are the game consoles that I can think of that I would consider my all-time favorites. The honorable mentions I would include are the PS3, the PS4, and the PS5. Shout out to those. Those are still really, really great game consoles. But those are the only ones that I can think of. So yeah. Well, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, comment below, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And what is your favorite video game console of all time, or what are your favorite video game consoles of all time? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the end of the video, you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and stay tuned for more videos that'll be coming out soon. But in the meantime, this is Kooky McGee signing off. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.